Hello and welcome to another special edition of the Punters Guide, because this weekend it's all about teamwork, because it's the Shergar Cup at Royal Ascot, and Jason Weaver is always alongside me. And Jason, teams kind of been in the headlines recently as well with the invention of the Racing League, and of course plenty of build up to this unique event, or was a unique event at Ascot this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing my age now. I rode in the very first one of these that was at Goodwood, believe it or not, and we had to have different coloured breeches and everything, and the team thing. I remember Fallon being involved, and obviously him hemming somebody in whilst one of his teammates kicked clear, and they had to go through all the rigmarole of that not to be allowed. But listen, it's something different. It is going to miss a little bit this year because we haven't quite got that international flavour that we used to. You know, it's been brilliant when we've had the Japanese superstars and the Americans and the Aussies over. I think it's got a great feel about it. And the jocks do so much. You know, they come out, they interact with all the children there. There'll be a band on later. It's got a different feel. It's a really, really good day. Hayley Turner's been doing it for years. She absolutely loves it. And obviously they'll all be gunning for the silver saddle. Look, it is different. It's not for everybody. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a great day out.
Well, let's get stuck into the action. Then we'll look through the 6 Shergar Cup races. We start with the Speedsters at 12.50, an early start as well, over 5 furlongs. And the good thing is the nature of these is they're all competitive races and decent betting heats, aren't they? I mean, 'Tis Marvellous is such a standing dish at Ascot. He'll have leading claims here. King of Stars was disappointed at Goodwood. They blamed the ground with that. It looks like a pin job for me, the first one.
Yeah, it's open. I think most of the races are filled with a couple of reserves. It's only later on that we get a little bit lean and there's one reserve and then maybe one race without them. So let's hope that they all go and we get the maximum fields. That's what we want. Good, solid betting heats with some each way value in there to boot. Yes, you could easily say, you know, Tone the Barone has got good form at Ascot. 'Tis Marvellous, who you mentioned, absolute rocket ship at this particular venue. And Clive Cox has hit a bit of form. They had a real sort of barren spell in the wilderness and they weren't firing at all. An old favourite of mine, he's been running in better races than these, is Stone of Destiny. He won at this particular meeting back in 2019. He goes well for a new set of hands. I know you might find that a little bit strange, but different jockeys just riding them with a little bit of a different feel, a grab and a hold on the bridle. So he'll get away from his usual riders, which I think actually suits him. He can be a runoff. He's got pace drawn in next door to him, right next door. King of Stars is drawn in 2. I think he'll go forward for Mick Appleby, and Stone of Destiny will get a perfect toe in. I'm hoping he can double up in the Shergar Cup.
Yeah, it's been an incredible run of form, hasn't it, for Andrew Baldwin, and I'm sure the Shergar Cup will be on his radar as well. Get a few winners in there, supplying Andrew Atzini with that one. We move on from the sprinters to the stayers at 125 over 2 miles, and well, again, another competitive contest. And I think it's interesting. I mentioned Just Hubert obviously refused to race at Goodwood with the standing start. It'd be much better going into stalls this time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, fair point. What an absolute nightmare it was at Goodwood, wasn't it? You know, and in this, look, multi-million-pound industry, I know we've got to look after the horses. And have you ever heard of a tapper? It's an extremely long sort of pro-cush whip or whatever that you use to get horses to go forward. It doesn't hurt them at all. You literally just tickle them down on the back of their heel, the fetlock it's called, the joint that moves, and they will scoot forward. In that scenario, it would have been great for him to go forward. I think 2 miles is his minimum, if I'm being honest. He tends to just look a little bit one-paced. We know that Island Brave goes well around here. Hockfeld, brilliant in the Pitman's Derby. He's not run the same the last twice, and maybe that run is just leaving its mark on him. I'm going to give another winner of the Shergar Cup one last chance. I've been following him just recently. He won in 2019 over the 1.5 miles in the Challenge. He's up to the 2 miles. It's Indianapolis. He can't get much lower in the handicap without winning. He's all the way down to 87. I hope and I pray that Ian Williams has specifically aimed him at this contest, because his last run was mighty disappointing. Prior to that, he put up a good performance, and that bit of spark was there again. So he's bidding for his first win since leaving James Gibbon, but he's absolutely thrown in off 87. I think when he won it in 2019, he was about 95, something like that. He's dangerously well handicapped.
Yeah, well worth it. Another chance, Xavier O'Brien, of course, Indianapolis. Third race of the afternoon, the Shergold Cup, is the challenge over Monarch. You mentioned it a little earlier, won by Indianapolis a couple of years ago. Again, where do we start here? Rafe Beckett, Sam Cook. Has been fancy for plenty of big handicaps without quite delivering. Could today be his day?
Yeah, he's one of them. I can only imagine that he works like an absolute champion in the morning, because the amount of times that he's been punted off the boards and things have just not gone his way, or he's not good enough, I don't know. But I mean, there seems to be a snowball effect every time that he goes out on the track. Sure, I've seen him being backed in races like the Northumberland Plate and all those sort of big handicaps. I think I've got to give him the swerve. Group 1 power, I think he'll have his followers. He travels ominously well. He doesn't always find as much as anticipated. And you got horses like the Trader. He's been a real good horse in the past for Mark Johnson and the team, but he was put in his place at the Glorious Goodwood meeting by Prince Alex. Now, also for the Shergar Cup, you get some of the smaller trainers have an opportunity to get their name in lights. And Simon Hodgson, who was a real journeyman jump jockey, if you like, he took over the license from Peter Hedger, and he's done really well with limited horses. Siest No More has been in absolutely the form of his life. He just gave it away at the starting source, and even though that was over 1.6 miles last time, it cost him. He was beaten, I think, 1.5 lengths in total in the end, three quarters, something like that. He's at the top of his game. He won't mind the ground. I think we're just due the odd shower. It'll be good, decent ground at Ascot. And Simon Hodgson, I hope for him, one of the smaller trainers in the game, that he can have a big winner on a well-covered day.
Yeah, interesting then. Say No More in that one. And obviously had the fourth talk in the Stewards Cup, a decent payday for him last Saturday as well, didn't he? Simon Hodgson. We move on to the mile at 2:35, the fourth Shergold Cup race, and there'd be no hiding place here. You expect data protection to blast out, dropping back to 1 mile and play catch if you can. Set it up for a closer, maybe like something like Raising Sand, who's such a regular in these straight events at Ascot.
Yeah, Raising Sand, again, he won one of the Shergar races back in 2017. So just goes to show how regular he is. Yeah, I mean, you've got Dashing Roger, Bear Force One, Lord Rapscallion and Data Protection all likely to be heading for that front end. So it's going to be a bit of a battle. Two horses I like in here, different sort of prices, around 11-2 and 9-1. So I think Vintager has probably still got a bit of an upside. I wouldn't say he was unlucky at Ayr, but he bumped into a horse, Marie's Diamond, who had come all the way down from triple digits, 110, 112, something like that, back down to a fairly lowly 90, high 90s, something like that rating. So it was a good run. And I feel that he's got a little bit of wriggle room in the handicap where he is at the moment from a mark of 99. You remember he was David Manusier, Charlie Appleby. He's now with Simon and Ed Crisford. He's in a good outfit. The one who I feel will be the wrong price is Uzo. He ran over 1.25 miles at the Glorious Goodwood meeting. He quite clearly failed to stay. Twice he's run over the mile at Ascot. One in the Silver Hunt Cup. He finished behind Sir Busker, not beaten too far. And we all know how he's gone on progressed. And then he was fairly close up behind Real World. You think for those runs, he'd have been just nudging his way up the handicap. He's come the other way. They've dropped him a few pounds. He sits on 94. Just feel he's slotted right in under the radar, Uzo, having had a good bit of form over the track, which I think is vital.
Interesting. Uzo then for Richard. Another one for Andrea Alzini as well. Could he maybe be an outside shot at the silver saddle? We'll see what else Jason fancies later on. We've got the Shergold Cup Classic up next at 3:10. When you think of Millicent's 3-year-olds, you do think of Mark Johnson. He's got a trio of them in here, but also Hayley Turner, you mentioned it at the start, obviously a big advocate of the Shergold Cup. This could be one for leading claims on Roger Charlton's Barn Owl.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Possible Man, he beat State of Bliss on the Jamstick when they met. you look at the handicaps and you go, hold on a minute, one's gone up 3, one's been nudged up a pound. How does this work out? Well, State of Bliss came out and ran a cracker at Goodwood just the other day and backs up, what is it, only 8 days later. So you can just see where I think the handicapper has got it about right. We'll definitely need to find another pinch of improvement. Now, looking back at Barn Owl's win at Ripon, I thought the second was arguably a little bit unlucky. Fairly flew home in the closing stages. And I thought, well, surely that form's not that strong. The second came out and absolutely dotted up at Bath the other day to give it a much, much stronger look. He's not overly big for a colt by Frankel, but the galloping nature of the track at Ascot is going to suit him much better than that little roller coaster at Ripon where he seemed to lack a little bit of foot. So this track, this trip, and I think he's still got an improving profile. And of course, I've mentioned it before, we are far too quick to pigeonhole these horses. You know, that's them, that's how good they are. He's having his 6th lifetime start. Most of these are fairly exposed and we know a lot about them. I don't think this lad's at his ceiling yet, so it's got to be Barn Owl.
Barn Owl then, yeah, for Hayley Turner. Very rare she leaves this event, is it, without a winner. And the card's bookended with sprints as well. We end over 6 furlongs in the Shergar Cup sprint. And decent chances here. Potmaster, very impressive at Doncaster last week. Royal Scimitar, late withdrawal from the Stewards Consolation race. And the one that caught my eye, the top weight, Cairngorm, I thought he ran an absolute cracker at Newmarket. And Mick Shannon thought he was a group place juvenile over in France.
Yeah, he's got 1 or 2 of them, Mick, recently, hasn't he? You know, the likes of Trey Fleur as well, who's, you know, one of those who had very, very good form previously. So he's a bit classy. Sharp 2-1. I remember him winning a big handicap over at the Curragh. You've got International Dream, deserves a little change of luck. He might appreciate a change of hands as well, just to get him to go forward. I think the strongest one on the Shergar Cup is going to come up in the lucky last, and it'll be Royal Scimitar. If you look at that form behind Black Rod at Newmarket, it's absolutely rock solid. For some reason, they were trying to stretch him out. I had him down as a big player up at Goodwood. The ground went against him, or connections were that sure that it wasn't going to suit. They just said, no, we'll pull him out and we'll wait for another day. So soft ground, keep a little bit of an eye on the weather. I think that sprinting could really be his game. Last time he ran over it, not since he won on his debut has he been back down again, you know, and he's just one of those that could easily be way, way better as a sprinter. Now he drops down into this division. I think he's a big, big player.
What's it all about the Shergar Cup this weekend? We've also got 3 races on from the ITV cameras from both Haydock and Newmarket. And we'll start with a couple from Haydock. The 225 is over a mile. And a series qualifier for the London Mile. We usually see these at Kempton, not on Merseyside. But again, the boys in blue, Godolphin, got a strong hand there, haven't they, with both Dubai Mirage for Saib bin Saror and John Thady Gosden's Royal Muse.
Yeah, they're on a little bit of a recovery mission. I think Royal Muse is obviously better than he'd shown. It was 122 days ago when he was 2-5 favourite, got absolutely lapped. Gone back, they found some sort of problem as to why he hasn't been back on the race course, so he could easily bounce back. Thiban managed to win over course and distance, probably had the run of the race, I would imagine, up towards the front end. And I'm not underestimating Baker's Boy down the bottom. He's got a little bit of ability. He's definitely one who might go under the radar, but of course we just get the 7, so he's not going to be the each-way play. Fantastic fox. It's no hiding the fact that he wasn't given a great ride when he ran at Ascot last time. I think Oisin Murphy was brilliant on Guru. This lad came from the back of the pack. Look, we know what the turning mile at Haydock is like. You wouldn't want to be too far away from the front end. You would imagine that Baker's Boy, being from the Dascombe team, they'll want to be kicking on. I would hope that Sylvester's not too far away from the front end and he can just keep this lad rolling. He's a half brother to Dream of Dreams. We know he's got plenty of ability. He probably should have won last time. Let's hope he gets it right on this occasion.
Well, fantastic Fox. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with them at Ascot, and you're right. Obviously, it blew up at the Royal meeting as well. Compensation could await. The Rosa Lancaster is the other big race at Haydock, the Group 3, due off at 4:10.9, set to go to post. There's plenty of rain around. There has been rain all week in Merseyside, so the ground conditions, keep an eye on those. Real World winner on quick ground the last twice. Of course, they're very impressed with the Royal Hunt Cup, but is related to some soft ground winners in his pedigree.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Marco Gianni, the reason he's going up to Haydock is for this lad. If you were to look through his entries, he's in the Queen Elizabeth, he's in the Champion on October the 16th. So they're obviously thinking lofty targets. And we know how much he improved. He won the Hunt Cup off 94, 108. He went up a stone and he bolted up, didn't he, at Newbury? Gone up to 116. So some £22 hike in the official ratings, and he's nowhere near his ceiling. The ground, that's the question, isn't it? No gimme, Yukon Glen, cracker. Last year's winner, extra elusive. Fox's Tails, another one for the Balding team that just cannot do any wrong at the moment. And if you want a mud lover, and you've got to look at it closely as the race approaches, Stormy Antarctic. He is absolutely at his best. The softer, the better. So were it to turn up a quagmire, he'd be a major player. So I'd be keeping my options open, looking at the weather and seeing which way it goes. Other than that, Real World, if they've any idea as to how good he is, and those entries are worthy entries towards the back end, October the 16th, could he be up in Group 1 company? We'll find out.
Yeah, I need to win this and win it nicely as well. Certainly with Ascot on it, maybe on his radar. The one race as well from Newmarket I'm going to look at is the Sweet Solera. Now, we've been talking about the jockey's title race throughout the season. Of course, the pendulum very much swung in Sheen Murphy's favour, the 5-timer at Kempton on Wednesday night. And both him and William Buick have the two leading players in the Sweet Solera. William Buick riding for his boss, Charlie Appleby, on Wild Beauty, and Sheen Murphy likewise on Sunstrike.
Yeah, the horses that were not involved in that race look as if they've got quite a bit to find. I know that Nurse Claire achieved a decent figure on race course debut, so could easily take a bounce back to form. Of the others, I think they need to step up dramatically. Sunstrike, I couldn't see a reason why she would turn the form around with Wild Beauty at the bottom. And the filly that they bumped into, Inspiral, of course, she is at the head of the market for the 1,000 guineas. So Wild Beauty going through the gears, 2 wins back to back, and still look green at Sandown, which I found remarkable. You know, it took a little bit of time to get going and then realise what was being asked of her. You know, Newmarket, Charlie, the team are flying, they're improving. Why on earth will she not just go and mop up the Group 3? I think she's a classy little individual. She bumped into what could be a potential superstar. I think Gosden actually told Dettori off, didn't he, for going far too early on the winner, as if it was asking her a little bit too much too early. Wild Beauty, class act.
Yeah, I remember that way. She came from behind, didn't she? And still got first run, and she's never going to beat her, but she stuck on nicely for second. I agree. I can't see how Sunstrike turns that form around. Right, 9 races covered then in front of the ITV cameras on a Saturday. What would be the strongest idea of the best bet?
It's not always easy to go with the Shergar Cup. This year, it is a little bit different because we haven't got that much international flavour. A lot of jockeys that we know an awful lot about. Royal Scimitar, for me, I was all over him. I thought that run at Newmarket when tried back down sprinting was very, very good indeed. I think Black Rod is pretty decent. That's all the first folio form from York. It just, for me, looks rock solid. And, you know, stiff 6 furlongs. Hopefully the rain stays away for him at Ascot. I think he'll zip in with the Clive Cox team in much better form.
Fingers crossed for Royal Scimitar, then sending us home happy from Ascot on Shergar Cup Day this weekend. Thanks to Jason for joining us once again. And we've got Sunday. Oh, there's something else he wants to add in as well. One
more, just before you get rid of me. Goals again on Saturday. Goals galore. Oh, my word. We're back in the game.
It is back. Goals galore, of course, Jason's favourite bet. Goals galore. Both teams score, you know it's goals galore here at Betfred. Good point. Thanks for reminding us. Yeah, the domestic season getting underway as well this weekend. You're making your venture down, getting your goals galore rackers on again?
I'll be coming out with my shopping list, ready to go.
And doubles up at Toilet Roll at 4:45 as well. So Roll Scimitar, the best bet for Jason, will be with us on Sunday as well to look through the Sunday series at Haydock and 2 huge group races at the Curragh and Deauville as well. Whatever you're back in this weekend, they're the very best of luck.